I'm going to be making some pasta, and I'm gonna flip by camera just so you guys can see the ingredients. Please disregard the noise in the background. My kids are watching a movie, so I can focus on this. But we have some ground beef. I like to get the lean 93% instead of percent fat. And then I also have some Italian sausage because I'll be mixing the ground beef with Italian sausage because it gives it a nice flavor. I also have a tiny bit of Parmesan cheese, which I'll be adding. Hopefully it'll be enough. Some Texas toast. I'm gonna be doing the pasta for the kids, and then the spaghetti squash for myself and my husband. I also have some sofrito cubes, some basil and tomato garlic pasta sauce, and I add basil leaves, garlic powder, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. So I'm gonna cook the meat, and then I'll continue filming once the meat is completely cooked, and I'll be adding the seasonings. So I did go ahead and wash my spaghetti squash, and now I'm going to poke it and prepare it for the oven. So I'm stabbing my spaghetti squash before I put it in the oven. I'm gonna put it at 375 for 1 hour. And then I'm also cooking my meats at the same time. So I did heat up my spaghetti squash a little bit so that I would be able to cut it open because it was a little hard. Now I'm going to devein it, take out all the seeds right here in the center, and then I'll put it in the oven with a little bit of olive oil and for 370 for 1 hour. Okay, so the best way to remove the seeds is to scrape them out with a spoon, and it comes out pretty easy. I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle with a little olive oil and put a little seasoning on it. This is Italian seasoning. A little onion and garlic powder as well. So at this point, my meat is almost completely cooked through. I'm gonna go ahead and season. And again, this was the ground beef and the mild Italian sausage, which combined, it gives it a really good flavor. So I just added Italian seasoning. I'm gonna add a little onion powder, a little garlic powder, and a little bit of basil. And then I'm going to open a hole in the center, and I'm going to add my sofrito. And what sofrito basically is some seasonings that I put together maybe about once a month, once every other month, and it's peppers, onions, and it gives the food a nice flavor, and I don't have to chop every time I'm going to cook. I put them in ice cubes and freeze them and put them in a Ziploc bag. I'm also going to add a 1/4 cup of red wine and cover for a little bit so that the flavors marry. So I did stir in all the onions and peppers and the seasonings as well. The wine has already evaporated. So if you're not having alcohol, you don't have to worry because the wine did evaporate. It's mostly for flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and add my pasta sauce and then turn off the heat and let it sit while my spaghetti squash cooks. To a pot of water, I've added some salt, and now I'm going to put in my pasta. and let that cook for 5 to 7 minutes. I've placed my Texas toast on a cookie sheet, and I'm going to place in the oven for 425 degrees for 5 to 7 minutes, and then flip 3 minutes in so that it's toasted on both sides. So I've strained my pasta since it's already cooked, and I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of the meat sauce so that it doesn't stick together. And I'm going to wait for my spaghetti squash and bread to continue toasting, and I'll show you what the completed dish looks like. To my pasta, I'm going to go ahead and grate some Parmesan, and it is ready to eat. I have taken my spaghetti squash out of the oven, and it is completely cooked. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the fork and pull from the edges towards the center, and you can see how it's very stringy, like pasta. Okay, so here is the spaghetti squash with the meat sauce on top and the bread, and I'm gonna go ahead and top with freshly grated Parmesan. And there's the final meal. And here is the pasta for my kids. Bye, thanks.